at 5 starts now.
Sioux City police have filed more charges against the teen accused of murdering 2 people early Saturday morning on the west side. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Koppel in for Larry Wentz. And tonight, those new charges are first at 5 o'clock. 19-year-old Joseph Cruz, who is already charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder in this case, is now also facing charges in connection with the shooting back in August. Court documents allege Saturday's shooting happened after Cruz and one of his victims, Carlos Aguirre, began arguing over a gun that Aguirre had and Cruz wanted. That argument turned physical, then Cruz got his hands on the gun and fired several shots, hitting and killing Aguirre and Anthony Williams, Cruz's cousin. Aguirre was pronounced dead at the scene, while Williams died at Mercy One Siouxland Medical Center from his injuries. Cruz was also shot and received treatment at Unity Point Health St. Luke Saturday. Court documents related to the August case allege Cruz and his brother shot that victim in the back early in the morning of August 21st on Ingleside Avenue, causing life-threatening injuries. Cruz is due in court November 9th and is currently being held in the Woodbury County Jail. Law enforcement in Lyon County, Iowa, are looking for the person who stabbed someone several times Sunday morning in the town of George. Deputies were called to that house around 8 a.m. Sunday and found a 24-year-old person with several stab wounds. That victim was taken to the hospital in Rock Rapids and later airlifted to Sioux Falls. Their name and current condition is unknown this evening. The Lyon County Sheriff's Office says they don't believe there is any threat to public safety. A Storm Lake man has been arrested for improper sexual contact with a child. 60-year-old Salvador Saldana Jimenez has been charged with 2 counts of lascivious acts with a child, which is a Class D felony. It's alleged that twice in 5 years he sexually abused a child under the age of 14 at a residence in Storm Lake. Saldana Jimenez was booked into the Buena Vista County Jail, where he posted a $10,000 bond. And an Orange County teen is facing charges of eluding and theft after a chase late last week in Sioux County. The Sioux County Sheriff's Office says 19-year-old Camden Wilson failed to stop for a deputy who tried to pull him over after spotting his pickup losing cargo on Highway 75 near Hull on Monday afternoon. That pickup was later determined to have been stolen from Sioux Center. Wilson eventually ditched the truck and ran off, but lost his cell phone, which eventually led to his arrest on Thursday. He is charged with eluding, first-degree theft, interference with official acts, and several traffic violations from that chase. Prosecutors in California have announced a list of charges against the man they say attacked the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Paul Pelosi was beaten with a hammer inside the couple's San Francisco home during a break-in on Friday. Dina Demetrius has the latest from Los Angeles.
The man who police say attacked the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi faces federal charges of assault and kidnapping. The Department of Justice announced the charges against David DePape this afternoon.
Across of Scott and Normandy.
A source tells CBS News Paul Pelosi was able to call 911 early Friday morning after asking his alleged attacker if he could go to the bathroom. There, he called 911 and left his phone on, allowing authorities to launch a quick response. San Francisco's police chief says officers arrived within 3 minutes. They found Pelosi and DePape fighting over a hammer. DePape allegedly grabbed hold and used it to strike Pelosi in the head. Both men were rushed to San Francisco General Hospital, where a source tells CBS News Pelosi remained conscious and able to talk before undergoing surgery to correct a depressed skull fracture. DePape was treated for minor injuries. CBS News has learned the suspect carried a bag containing zip ties and duct tape. He shouted, "Where's Nancy?" after entering the home. Speaker Nancy Pelosi was in Washington at the time. The alleged attack came days before the midterm elections, as some Get Out the Vote ads have taken direct aim at her.
I've seen the dehumanization of Nancy Pelosi. I don't think anyone's been dehumanized like she has consistently.
In an exclusive interview with CBS News' Major Garrett, California Governor Gavin Newsom blamed conservative networks and social media for escalating political rhetoric to a dangerous level.
Don't tell me that's not aiding and abetting all this. Of course it is. They're sowing the seeds of creating a culture and a climate like this.
DePape will appear in court for the first time Tuesday afternoon. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now there has been an uptick in political violence. U.S. Capitol Police say there were nearly 9,600 threats made against lawmakers last year, about 1,000 more incidents since 2020. Well, turning to weather, Kat, honestly, you could not ask for a better day for some Halloween trick-or-treating, and I can't wait to get out there later, maybe join you at your house.
Yeah, I would love it. It's going to be a beautiful evening. We do have a very clear sky for the most part. We have just a little bit of some high wispy clouds here and there in our Tatanka Golf Club, Wahia Casino Resort camera out in Niobrara. Current temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. We're sitting at 71 degrees in Sioux City. Last year, Halloween's daytime high was 50, so we're over 20 degrees warmer than we were last year. It's going to set up for a very pleasant evening. Now, we do have a little bit of a breeze out there, up to about 13 miles an hour or so, but the good news is over the next 2 hours, that is going to die down dramatically. So as we set up for your Halloween forecast, it's going to be a stunner. 64 degrees, mostly clear with those young kids headed out. Fairly warm. You don't really need to layer up. 59 degrees at 7 p.m., clear and calm. Those winds really down to nearly zero by 54 at 8 p.m. I'll have your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Kat. Well, some political candidates are using Halloween to draw attention to what they call the crisis at the border. This follows warnings from the DEA about rainbow-colored fentanyl targeting children, with a new round of reminders about the deadly drug. Sinclair National correspondent Christine Frizzell has the latest.
A Halloween pastime turning political. Some candidates sounding alarm bells after recent warnings from the Drug Enforcement Administration of brightly colored fentanyl used to target children.
Right now, the cartels, they're dressing this stuff up like candy, rainbow fentanyl. And I know we're all going to be vigilant and protect our kids here this Halloween. But shame on Mark Kelly for us having to do that.
GOP lawmakers in a letter asking the Department of Homeland Security to respond to cartels specifically using it to get children hooked at a young age. Many who buy it online after clicking on social media advertisements.
Crist voted to support Biden's open border policies. Criminals, gangs, and drugs are pouring in.
The issue popping up in campaign ads as well.
Fentanyl is pouring into Arizona, and overdose deaths are surging.
CDC data show U.S. overdose deaths did increase from more than 93,000 in 2020 to more than 100,000 in 2021, with about 75% of those involving opioids. When it comes to Halloween candy, experts advising parents to follow the same guidance they have for years, checking to make sure it's wrapped and sealed with no signs of tampering.
We have no direct information that Halloween is specifically being targeted or young people are being targeted for Halloween.
Homeland Security officials for months pushing back against what they call the open borders myth when it comes to drugs entering the United States.
The effort to smuggle fentanyl into our country actually comes through the ports of entry. And we have increased the interdiction of fentanyl by quite a significant amount.
Indeed, fentanyl seizures at the border have increased by more than 30% from fiscal year 2020 to 2021, with candidates seizing on fears and arguing current border policies are to blame. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell.
Keeping kids safe while trick-or-treating tonight is a priority for parents, and technology can be a big help with that. Kids can use Google Maps to create a trick-or-treat route they plan to follow and take pictures of their costumes with their phones. They can also use phones, smartwatches, or clip-on tracking devices like AirTags so their parents can follow them.
Just preparing ahead of time proactively and setting ground rules, I think, is always key. Playing it safe and then being able to use those location tracking devices or functionality, right? Regardless if your child has a smartphone.
Parents can use apps like Nextdoor, Light 360, or Climps to monitor their kids while they're out collecting candy. Former President Donald Trump is asking the Supreme Court to block the release of his tax records. House Democrats have been asking for Trump's tax records since he was a candidate in 2016. Now, no law requires presidents to release their tax returns, so Trump refused. Now, Democrats argue they want to probe how the IRS audits presidents' tax information. Trump argues their purpose has nothing to do with the tax agency and more to do with his personal finances. If the high court doesn't immediately intervene, a lower court ruling means the tax returns will be disclosed. People are showing up at convenience stores, groceries, and gas stations around the country to snatch up lottery tickets for a chance at a massive $1 billion Powerball jackpot. It's the 5th largest lottery jackpot in U.S. history. The biggest prize was a $1.5 billion Powerball jackpot split by 3 ticket holders in 2016. No one has hit all 6 numbers since August 3rd. A testament to how slim the odds are of winning the jackpot. More than 1 in 292 million. Nearly all big winners opt for a cash payment, which for Monday night's drawing would be an estimated $497.3 million. 4 workers were sickened this morning when carbon dioxide was released in a utility room at Los Angeles International Airport. According to the LA Fire Department, 2 men and 1 woman were able to quickly get out, but 1 man was still in the room when officials arrived. He was rushed to the hospital where he is in critical condition. The carbon dioxide release was likely part of a fire suppression system often used in rooms with electrical equipment as an alternative to water or foam. Authorities say there is no evidence of an actual fire or explosion in this case. Officials also emphasize no travelers were sickened by the release. About 100 people were evacuated to a nearby terminal out of an abundance of caution. Coming up in 4 minutes tonight at 5 o'clock, the Sioux City Musketeers make a big donation to fight cancer locally after last weekend's Pink in the Rink event. But first, as thousands of American kids fight off RSV infections, good news in the fight to prevent that virus moving forward. That's coming up in tonight's Health Watch.